Right, folks, welcome to the Team GSP podcast. And as you can see, we've brought a load of extras in today.
Team GSP and Jack.
And Jack, Team GSP and Jack. Jack, get the fuck out of here. We're in a different venue, you could say, in a dungeon. So this is Clare Galway Castle. This is where we're going to be hosting the Irish Strength Cup. We came in here to do some media stuff today and thought it was really cool. So let's do a podcast and just chat some shit. We're not very much prepared, but we're going to just winging it, yeah, exactly.
Winging production.
So actually, just before this started, we were talking about the actual winning of the cup and the perpetual shield. So with the Irish Strength Cup, we're going to do a perpetual shield. Someone's name will get etched onto it every year, and in an ideal world, they take it home. Now, we were discussing whether it should be the top Irish placing athlete should be put onto that, or whether the shield, if someone outside of Ireland wins it, should stay in Ireland, because Ayshea was like, I can't leave Ireland.
No, I'm dead right.
You wouldn't be able to get it back.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what I mean. It physically can't leave the country because I don't have to
Hassle
fly
trying to get that back.
to get that back. Yeah. And
But
people do forget and they move and whatever. So
I still think that because of the reasoning of the cup, that it should be an Irish athlete that wins it or can win it. So
just to be clear, that's the perpetual cup
yeah,
or
the
shield.
actual shield.
Yeah,
so like you can win the Irish Strength Cup,
and we'll
like,
give you a trophy for
whoever.
that.
Yeah,
But the shield is like a separate.
separate
The
thing.
trophy
Yeah,
doesn't have to come back as such, is it?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think. Anyway,
no, they keep their trophy.
Yeah,
The
trophy,
shield
yeah, shield has to come
yes,
back every
the
time.
trophy and the
Yeah.
shield are two different things.
So if
It's
you
a bit
say for nobody outside of Ireland, either way with that shield, it has to stay on the island. So if you win it and your name is on it, you can take it home to Longford, but it has to be back before the next competition
Yeah.
comes along.
And if someone from the UK say won it, you're saying
They can't take it out of the country.
they get their cup, they bring that home with them forever,
And they've got the cup.
the perpetual shield then
but it has to stay here. So
in the castle,
in the castle, in my house, on my
in the
shelf.
gym.
In the
So
gym.
GSP wins no matter what. Okay, nice. What are you thinking there, Jerry? I can hear you humming and all.
Yeah,
You're
I
grunting.
can see your thoughts
I'm
formulating.
thinking like Sobs were commemorating Mark, and he's done work outside of Ireland. He did
Absolutely,
OSG
yeah.
and UK.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, imagine someone he met outside of Ireland won it down the line. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if we said it that an Irishman keeps the shield, that's it going forward. Whereas I think it should be whoever just wins on the day.
I think so.
But what if?
And they bring it back.
As long
Make
as-
sure to bring it back.
That's probably the hard part.
That's my problem with it.
To be
I'm
honest,
not getting back here.
I'm leaning towards Jer here and to letting people take it. But the big thing is getting it back.
Yeah, that's
Like we can just like scold this person on social media for, do you know, we can't like,
Yeah,
like we put the meme lord on him.
Well, what you could, so like at the Abs Pro, so the first Abs Pro was an Irish winner, Barry Piggott.
Yeah.
But since then, four of them, it's always been an international winner. Polish, two British, and Bulgarian. What Jade does, we're doing replicas. So the winner takes the replica home, and you keep the actual
The actual
shield
one.
with the engraving of whoever's won it.
Oh, that's actually a good
That's
show.
a good idea, yeah.
Or you could do it if you win it twice, you get the replica. At UFC do something like that. If you win a belt twice, if you defend it, they give you the replica belt. You don't actually get to keep the belt.
Oh, that's actually not a
I
bad.
don't know if it's going to work though because the trophy, the shield I'm looking at, has loads of little engravings on it, so it's going to
So
look
you'd have
shit
to get it
if you're-
engraved twice, essentially.
You'd have to
Yeah.
get it engraved every single time.
Yeah, so that kind
Or
of
you'd have
makes
to,
no
yeah,
sense
you'd have to
me.
get another one every single
Like
year.
it would be
or something.
easy to like I'll go to someone's house and take the shield off them in Ireland if they don't give it back.
Me
Like
too.
Oh, he will.
Are you saying as in
there's some big guys here, like with all
There is,
that.
yeah.
the one that you engrave stays in Ireland in the
Yeah.
gym, and then the replica doesn't have engraving. It's just a replica of the
It could just be a replica of the cup.
Yeah.
of the
Oh,
sheet.
just without the
yeah,
name,
that's
like-
the right thing.
But you could also get the last previous winners all engraved on that as well. So that when the person takes it home, they're like, oh, look what came before me.
Yeah.
It doesn't. The engraving isn't expensive. It's actually the trophy that's expensive.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you'd have all the previous winners on it, and then
then
the
them.
next winner on
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
and then they keep that.
Yeah.
And if they want to keep adding on to it, they can.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's just a replica.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
I think it would be just very limiting for the competition, for the growth
Yeah.
of the competition, if it was just Irish athletes to win it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's not much of an incentive for somebody to come over to travel to
No.
go for it. Whereas
Yeah.
I think if they've seen
Good
this,
point.
that it's like, you're getting your name on this and people in different countries, they might want, I really want to get my name on that trophy. Whereas like if you're just doing it just for Irish athletes, then it's just, I feel like, especially if you think again like with Mark, like Mark had a lot of big visions to grow the sport. And I think just limited to Irish athletes is going to stunt the growth of this
I've
competition.
actually got a plan. So you make it like 12 kilos, and then most people fly Ryanair, and they're not.
Bring it up.
They won't take it back anyway.
Yeah,
So-
it ends up in the bin in Dublin Airport.
Something you all spoke about though when I done the individual interviews with you is you all want to see this be an international event.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
if we do want it to be an international event, I think Cilléin and Jared's points are really good where we do want to allow them to take that with them.
Yeah.
And the replica may be the way to do that, I think.
Just so they have something to show at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in their
Yeah.
cabinet. But you're right, it sets a narrative if we say an Irish guy can only win.
It does,
Yeah.
yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Republic of Ireland and Ulster. And I might be getting a little controversial here.
That's
but
fine.
When,
Go for it.
Not like you, Joe.
in previous years, and it's happened time and time again, the guy who wins Republic could have came fifth
Yeah.
in the competition. Four guys from Ulster beat him.
Yeah.
And like fair enough, he was the strongest from Republic.
Yeah.
But he hasn't won the competition as such.
It's such, so now they've separated, now it's Republics, and I think that's fantastic.
It's
Yeah.
the right way to do
I
it.
think it's a
Yeah.
fantastic idea, and it means maybe more participation, etc.
Yeah, because I suppose what happens then is
Imagine
say Cilléin comes second at the Irish Strength Cup and someone from the UK
Yeah.
comes and wins it. Now Cillian's has the Irish Strength Cup title, but there's an
Yeah.
asterisk on that. like.
Yeah,
There's an
And it's there
Yeah,
forever.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
want that to.
and imagine we had an
Came
off day. The
second.
Irish had an
Yeah.
off day. We came fifth, the highest Irish athlete. I'm just saying, it's strong,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
So we're going to decline 4 lads to the Shield to
Yeah.
give it to the
Yeah,
fifth
yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
it's like
I
a
think
con-
it's-
that's what
like a
can
consolation
happen.
prize
You
or
set a
like
narrative
participation
that can
medal,
happen.
like, you know.
It
Yeah,
when-
it is,
Yeah.
it is.
I totally
Yeah.
see where you're coming from, but I think the replica is the
That's
way
the
to
answer, yeah.
kinda deal
Because
with that,
just to
yeah.
get it out there, I'm saying I think anyone should be able to win it from wherever in the world. Because again, what you said, Mark, there wasn't a boundary. He didn't,
No.
and he grew so much with the lads in Scotland and Wales, and you know, if we end up, it's now gone over to America with the naturals, like so. And he was over at OSG, and he made loads of friends. So why would you turn around and go, oh well, sorry, you're not actually Irish, so you
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
effectively win it, but travel over for it anyway, like.
his page had reach into America as well in
Yeah.
Canada
Yeah.
and stuff. So like,
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so definitely I think, yeah, and just a replica because the whole other point of that, like I said in an interview, is keeping a legacy alive. So if someone did decide at some point to go, you know, if you had that original shield and disappeared and forgot about it because they had no heed to it, like we've lost that shield,
Yeah.
that original shield.
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, it's how would you go and source that then in the middle of Europe somewhere?
Yeah.
Gives
I
the
think
Irish
the
guys an
replica then,
incentive now to win, doesn't it?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Absolutely.
Well, I suppose going on to the Irish guys, you two both came first and second at Ireland's Strongest Man last weekend. How are we all feeling after performances and everything?
Broke up.
And you've got a massive bruise in your leg, I see as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking in there and his leg.
I just saw a shadow, shorts, I was like,
It looks like the Northern Lights last night.
yeah, smashed up.
Purple, bit of pink, bit of yellow. Yeah, it's just
Few
from the
bits scratched, yeah.
duckwalk implement.
Well, your arms are good, everything, yeah, look at, yeah, but that's right.
Yeah, just our leverages, like we're very similar build, height.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna say build, you're not.
It's like chair.
Height. But the only way when you're getting up the steps, every time it was hitting my quad, it was actually
Yeah.
squeezing into the
Yeah.
skin, the muscle. Yeah, so yeah, that's where that came from.
Yeah.
But broken up, yeah, back's a little wear and tear there.
Yeah.
Proud though, I mean, you should be proud too.
Yeah,
I,
definitely, yeah.
I know you wanted to win it, so the first time wasn't a fluke, or you
Yeah,
know,
of course.
that's what people thought. But you know, genuinely, that's you
That's
know,
what I
Yeah.
said, yeah.
if you win it
Not
twice,
fluke.
it's
Yeah.
And
no
also, like,
dispute.
you won it this year, like, as in, it was
Yeah, the lineup
totally
was
like,
as,
there
the lineup
no-
was as good as you could.
Yeah.
I mean, like obviously Sean Gillen can't do it because he's in Australia. If Pat did it, like I'll happily say this in front of the camera, you would have beaten Pat.
I'd like to think
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
The
with
spread,
no offence.
the spread was massive. Like you had a massive, like you were 10 points ahead of Jura, wasn't it? And Jura was
Yeah.
8 points
You
ahead
were
of
8
Jura's.
points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
like,
a tire flip
what,
killed everyone.
what? Yeah, you think it's just the tire flip solely that?
Well, this felt like Republic of Ireland
still think you
2021,
won it.
wasn't it? You won it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Only 3 lads did the stone out of a 15-man lineup.
Yeah, made balls of things for everyone. So
Mental.
Yeah.
yeah, it's just the one
You
sat
skipped
beside
from
us,
like, were you in 4th and went to 1st, or were you 3rd went to 1st?
third or something like that.
Like,
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, fair play, like it was a hard stone, but it just it completely
Changes,
flips,
flip things up.
flips
yeah.
because
Yeah.
Sean was ahead of me going into that tire flip.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was. He was half a point ahead of me.
Fucking hell.
I was 3rd.
So like, it obviously comes down to testing and the promoter just not changing it. Do you think? Like, do you obviously think that should have been a lighter tire or an easier tire to flip? So that.
I would have loved a heavier tire. I would have absolutely genuine. You know, I would have.
Well, you say that because you're really good at tire.
Yeah. I would have loved that.
Then
I'd love to see what weight you could have gone up to.
God,
I'd say
yeah.
we'd probably get pretty high. I don't know about Jamie.
We were one max rep, to be honest.
Who tested
Yeah,
that?
one rep
That
max
tire?
tire would be funny.
I don't know. I think they said Nikki tried
Nikki
to flip it beforehand.
He
but
got
before,
it.
but
Did you get a flip of
he
it?
got
It's been
one.
tested
You
a
got-
long time before
Nicky-
that.
Nicky
got
got
it.
one.
Nicky Savage at tire flip though too.
Yeah.
Like I remember the UK's, he was one of the only few to finish it in one of those. I think it was a Four Nation comp or one of those formats. It was very similar. One of those. Yeah, it was a very similar tire. I don't know if it was the exact one. From my memory, I think I was told this is a new tire.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was officially weighed. I've done 470 in training. I have touched one that was like 550. The Stoltmans used it over in Inverness. There's a gym there, Forge Gym, amazing gym. I think it was like 550. They said, and I could just get it to my knee. The one I used there on Monday wasn't far off that one. In terms of the transit, getting off the floor was grand because there was a gap. There was like an inch where you get your fingers under. That's usually the hardest part with the
I
tire.
remember you saying when you see it.
You can get your hand under. That's fine. Everyone can get it to this part. It's the next part.
Yeah, transition.
The transition was crazy, and then the flooring wasn't too great. I was wearing the wrong shoes for it entirely.
You were saying to me, Cilléin, earlier, like
I
you
was
couldn't just do it
flipping.
all in one movement.
No, there was.
Couldn't, no.
Yeah,
I seen him trying to hit the knee off it, to keep momentum going.
No.
It just stopped dead every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop
So
dead.
Didn't budge.
Now, in fairness, the advice Glenn gave us was to attack it. And watching the other lads, I don't think anyone like really aggressive. It was more kind of like the mind
I
was.
think so, yeah.
They were thinking about how will I do this rather than just
Go
going
for it.
into it. But he was saying that you might get one or two one motions, and I was thinking I'd be shocked if anyone
I
got
think
one
so,
motion of
yeah,
that.
yeah.
You'd be a savage to do that.
Yeah, monster.
But
I think that
also,
was definitely a
Matty,
mistake you made. Was you kept trying to one motion it. You kept trying to bring the knee in. It
That
just
was
wasn't.
actually- that was-
I seen it on the
yeah.
first one. I was like, "That's going nowhere, man. Stop that."
Yeah.
If only you didn't get a rep man,
Get
that'd be
one
Ireland's
leg
strongest
right there.
man. Imagine what
Get there,
podcast
get
we'd be having now.
Jade, what are you trying to say?
what I'm trying to say is that like when you're
I'd be in
planning
Vegas
things
right
like
now.
those, like natural worlds and like those like really big heavy comps, you kind of plan them with the idea that you don't want everyone actually finishing them. So like, is it actually the same? Like it's
Yeah.
pretty much the same thing as this, like where
Yeah.
you have people zeroing it. Like it's gonna separate
People,
the
yeah.
top.
You
The
do
top
want
you
more
need to be
than
that.
well
Yeah.
in order to win a national title. You
more
need to be
than
well
three
rounded
people,
and through
though. Oh,
everything.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But
So
3 people got 3 reps of a 7 flip course.
Yeah.
2 people got 1 flip.
Six
flip
flips,
course.
yeah,
Okay,
six, yeah.
So you got half. 2 you got half. 3 you got halfway. 2 people got 1 flip. The rest zeroed it. To me, that's just
It's
way
a little
too
bit
fast.
too
It's
fast.
too much.
Yeah.
I definitely want people not finishing stuff
Stuff.
in every comp. Particularly like with the Open, the Worlds, national level stuff. You want there to be hard enough that
Think,
some
yeah,
people,
that
the
people
bottom
are
end can't
splits and
finish it.
everything.
But like if it's a tire flip race, that wasn't a race.
Yeah.
It should be some people should be able to finish it.
Like,
I personally, but I was listening to people that were involved in the organisation saying, not athletes saying that's really heavy, and like I would have changed it that morning. I would have put this. They had the bags out.
They had the
I
bags,
wouldn't
yeah.
have
Who
stand
felt,
back.
yeah.
I'm surprised that
G-Boat
no
would have probably still fucking come first and second anyway. Like.
pinged the bicep. Like, you know, if it
Well,
was
Ray
that hard and
Tony
heavy.
actually did snap a bicep.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Well, he
Ray-
had to tear.
He had to
It
tear,
was just a
you know,
tear. He was back.
yeah.
He was back in the gym squatting 280 there yesterday.
He's a madman.
Yeah.
It doesn't count with Ray.
Okay.
I don't know how high he got it. Usually the tendon going is the transition part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From you're going from supination to pronation. From at the start, I think it's just a muscle tear you get at the start.
Yeah.
Typically, I mean,
Depends
obviously,
on-
it depends on the size. I remember
I tore
strongman-
mine at the there.
So,
Full extension.
gone.
Strongman Champions League there last year. Kevin de Ruyter tore both his biceps
Yeah, yeah.
on the tire.
Oh,
it was
a few lads.
You said that, did you?
It
Two at a
was
time now.
it was a similar size
sorry, no,
tire,
it's fine.
but there was no gap in the bottom,
Okay.
so lads had to actually like try and find a thread, and they're basically curling it. But I think 4 lads tore their biceps in that
Mad,
comp.
so it was
It
mad.
was like they put it down as 525 kilo tire.
I think actually Nicky
That's huge.
in the back in the day took his biceps on tire as well because of chatting.
I think he has a bicep gone as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, are you a strong man if you didn't tear a bicep? I
I think
obviously
at this
wasn't.
stage, like it's a badge of honor, like it's like I tore my biceps.
Cilléin, it's coming.
I don't want
Don't jinx it.
I'd hate to see it, but I might
Sure,
win.
Jack.
I might win a title. I might win 1 title. After you win 5, let me win 1.
You have to do 6. Pass 5, isn't he?
Pass.
Has 5.
Yeah,
Dave,
that's
yeah, we were
six.
talking about that. Dave Warner has 4.
Yeah.
You are
4 Irelands.
4 Irelands.
4 Irelands, Dave Warner.
That's what
Yeah.
Pat be.
So he got 5. Now
Yeah.
do 6.
So
That's
it's,
another
it's,
It is very English, lads.
He is.
David's very English.
We know who let him. We know who let him compete. We know who started off that
We're not
crack.
getting into that conversation now.
Yeah, we'll stop that one there. Anyway, what else are we going to talk about then?
Right here, right there.
Well, you're up there with Johnny Kelly. He won it
Johnny Kelly
twice.
won it twice, yeah.
There's a lad called Brian Irwin, I think. Very
Brian
good back
Irwin,
in the
yeah,
day. I
I've
think he
heard
won
of
it
him.
Oh,
twice.
yes.
And I think Sean O'Hagan just won it once.
Yeah,
But you're up. You're like,
It's getting
when we look back in history, like, we see who's won X amount.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So, how many do you think you'll win?
I'd like to just keep going, to be honest.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I would like to be beat at some point, but I don't want to stop and just and just leave it at that. I'd rather somebody beat me and then call it off. You know what I mean? Because I just don't want to. I feel like it would just be in the back
You
of my mind.
think that, but then, like me and Gemma, I'm like,
I was going to
"Oh,
say,
I
you
don't know
said that
about
about Gemma.
Oh, yeah.
and then you
Once
said
it's
you're
bet,
going
I
to
can
step back.
step back, and I'm like, oh shit, here we go.
No, yeah. You got to speed up now.
But,
When did you realise you had it won? Or
I didn't even going into the last events. Like people kept going to congratulate me. I was like, the competition's not over yet. Anything could happen. Like it's just
You have to
it's
keep
not
it.
not until
Yeah.
it's whistle's gone, everything's over. Because I mean, you can't get complacent in this. Like you take the foot off the pedal, and anything can happen.
Looking at UKNS last weekend, Stuart Graham in the Opens was 8
yeah.
points in the lead in a 9-man. I think it was 9 men in that category, or maybe there was 10, but it wasn't much anyway. 8 points in the lead. First stone picked up, bang, bicep gone.
Whoa.
Came second.
Second. Fucking hell. See, that's
Zero the
that's
event.
horrible.
I think everyone else got it.
Yeah. Wow.
Horrible.
Yeah. That's
Cruel.
Yeah.
Strongman's cruel, like.
Yeah.
And anything like that can happen. So it's never, like you said, it's never done.
Never
for someone.
guaranteed. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
So I could probably try to pick it up in one arm.
Keep going. Absolutely.
Just let the other one hang.
Stones be grand.
But yeah, well, it was a good comp though, wasn't it? Overall, it was fun.
very well run.
Yeah, there was a good crowd there watching.
Yeah.
The venue was cool.
The crowd really
I'd say.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't really fault it at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people could say, the tire should have been tested or that and this.
Yeah. That happens though.
That happens in
happens.
strongman. That's strongman. Like it kind of evens out. I think in the end, there'll be events where you're like, oh, I did really well at that,
Yeah.
surprisingly, and then the other way. But no, fantastic venue. The lineup, I think that was probably one of the best lineups in terms of depth.
Yeah.
Like even like we're
That's what
talking-
made it so surprising, I think, with the spread at the end. But
I know Ray Foley was unfortunate to get the injury, but so if he came last, he still is near 400 kilo puller.
yeah,
Yeah,
and he's
he is.
won all the Masters.
He's
He's
a savage.
beat and he's very from the top to the last guy.
Yeah.
So it's great to see because in November, official Giants Ireland's had a great lineup as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if that keeps going,
Pushing it. Like,
Exciting times ahead.
Yeah, definitely. Especially, I think if you give somebody like Jamie another year,
Oh, Jamie will be
just to
great.
get out of the powerlifting body that he has, like, and just lose. That's I don't know how to say it, but like he's
Yeah.
just a phenomenal equipped powerlifter. One of the first people to squat 500 kilos in a suit, like, and once he just loosens out and gets his conditioning up, and you're seeing that each year now that he's just like he's getting faster, he's getting more mobile.
And it's after the rupture of the
That's
Achilles,
what I'm
which
saying,
is-
yeah,
I
that's
saw-
what I'm
saw
saying.
Trey Mitchell in the. I think I was talking
Right,
to
we
you
were
about
talking
that.
about it,
I
like-
told you he would not be the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
And it's one of those injuries, whatever it is, you just never.
It's literally the worst tendon you can.
Because
You
the
can
power
feel
is
it.
generated.
Yeah.
Ankle extension
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
huge and strong, man.
It's
Yeah.
And
ridiculous.
even his deadlifts, he suffered because he couldn't get the floor power.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jamie won 2 Warrior trophies now. He's only
He
won, I
has,
believe, in
Yeah,
Irish
I think
strongman
so.
history. He won 2 of them.
Right.
In fairness, he earned it.
He earned it. He's a
definitely
fighter.
earned it.
Yeah, no, he's absolutely fighter. I think he'll win the title one day.
I think
if
so,
he can
yeah.
put it together with the
Definitely.
right events, I think
Definitely, yeah.
So he's going to beat you, is he?
He's
He might
dangerous.
just-
I mean, like, I mean, you can't diss anybody's ability in it. Like, I mean, I said, like, it's just luck with the events definitely plays part in it. Like,
Yeah.
if you get a good lot of events and you have a good day, I feel like anybody can really win it. Like, and
Yeah.
so I don't like going in with the mentality of it's a guaranteed win, because it's just like, nothing in life is guaranteed, and I feel like for me personally, it's just like I'd rather kind of go in with like the fear of like letting myself down, because like if you're going in like fully confident in yourself, sometimes it can be just, in my own mind anyway, like it can be a bit of a downfall. Like, so it's like nothing's ever guaranteed, especially in a sport like this.
Yeah.
You've always kind of said the same thing, Ayshea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would think so too.
Yeah.
It's like it's that complacency. Like it's so much easier to become complacent when you think that you're basically
You have
guaranteeing something,
just to
because
show up.
you're not going to give that extra effort that you need to win if
Yeah.
you're like gunning for something and you're afraid that you're actually going to lose it. Like you're going to give way more effort than if you're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, this is mine. Like
Yeah.
like it might be completely subconscious. Like you might even realize that you're not giving that much effort, but like there's going to be a lot more to you if you're proper like like basically under that pressure.
Even in training leading up to it, you wouldn't be giving
Yeah.
it all in training and stuff,
Definitely.
like, you know. So then on the day, if you're the same mentality, it's sure it is all going to go to shit, like, you know.
UKNS last weekend, UK and Ireland's.
Savage.
How
Savage comp.
are you feeling after it all?
Yeah, grand. Was tired for a good few days afterwards, and I think a lot of it was the travel and the overstimulation of the weekend between competing. First time I've done a 6-event comp, and one of the very few comps that I've had to really fight.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. It actually, I think, has to go down with one of the best competitions I've actually been involved in, because the battle of the women that were involved, and that wasn't just in the opens, that was across
It was
all
across
weight
all.
categories.
There was no one at any point where
Yeah.
you were like, oh, it's theirs.
It's
How many women axle pressed 100 kilos?
Four.
That's class.
No, so you had so you
Oh,
had
473s, was it?
No, you had 373s do 106.5,
And then
and
That's
two
ridiculous.
opens did 100. I don't know if there was another 100 kilos in the 73s, was there?
in the 73s, no. In the 82s, it only went to
No, there
85.
wasn't. So you had 4 women,
Crazy.
100 kilo plus on an axle. Like,
That's class.
Like,
Yeah.
That's
you-
so good to see.
2 women at the same time in the opens as
Yeah.
well, threw the 100 up.
Really,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sure,
Wow.
Alex and Faye got their
Same-
record at the same
same
time.
at the same
as well.
time.
It's very cool to see.
It's-
Yeah.
It was like the sheer strength that was involved
Yeah.
in the naturals that weekend is like, and to think now that the tested record is higher than the untested record for axle is just
For
phenomenal.
which weight class?
Right.
For the
173s,
773s.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
class. That's really cool.
So you look at that and you just kind of go the standard and the caliber of the women. And
It's
like
crazy.
the guys is great, but we will not talk about them. We're going to talk about them.
Women were-
It's just mind blowing.
It was.
We had then on the Thomas Inch, Ella just missed the 54.
It was 53, I think.
She got
53.
53. She missed
What's the
58, was it?
That's it, yeah.
58 she missed, yeah.
That was phenomenal. Like Ella has only just come really into strongwoman, and she's smashed
Yeah.
out 100 kilo on an axle and then a 53 and just missed a 58
Yeah.
dumbbell.
And that's
Like,
the,
what-
as the,
And it was
as
like
the fifth
just
event
missed.
as well.
Yeah,
That's,
on
yeah.
a Thomas Inch.
After fibers as well, like,
Yeah.
your,
Yeah.
like your forearms.
Do you know what I
and
mean?
everything.
Fun, like.
Killing you.
So yeah, it was just absolutely savage.
It was class, like.
Yeah, very, very cool. And as I said to this fellow, I actually kind of put a bit more fire in my belly, because you're kind of getting. I've been doing this now for 7 years, and you're like, it's now growing, and it's brilliant from one sense, because I didn't have that competition. Down to see where we're at
Where it's gone.
in a tested environment as well. It's just phenomenal, and I'm just a little bit sad because I'm like old now, and I'm like, this is where
You're
all
never
the
too old.
competition is. Yeah, and that's the other thing, I suppose, of competing in the opens. Just for anyone who doesn't know, I didn't do the masters, I did the opens,
Yeah.
and
You and Wendy, she was two people.
Wendy,
in
yeah,
Masters.
she did.
Wendy,
She
Yeah.
did the
73.
73
Yeah.
this year as
But
well.
then Faye Pittman's a masters as well. She did
Yeah.
the 73s.
So he's actually saying like it's
Yeah.
you know it's
So she actually has the masters
Master's
record.
record as well, yeah.
That's
I think she's what, 41, 42?
She's
or
42
something?
apparently, yeah.
42, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think she, when I heard that, I was like, oh, I thought she was a lot younger.
Same as that.
However, I did
Damn.
retain my queendom with the deadlifts. I'm just
Yes,
gonna
you
put
did.
that
yeah,
there.
8 reps.
8 reps of 200 kilos.
No
yeah.
straps.
Bit
no
more,
sleeves.
no straps, no
No
sleeve,
nothing.
just about bit more conditioned. There was 10 or 11 in me, I'd say. I just,
Oh, yeah, easy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you were good.
yeah. So no, fantastic, really, really good.
Yeah.
It's really good to see as well so many Irish athletes get through to Worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like with three guys that done the 80 under 80s, all qualified for Worlds.
Qualified, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think at one
Savage,
point when we
yeah.
almost looking at all Irish podium for the lads. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying. Like
yeah.
it was so close in the beginning
Yeah,
that if they had actually continued on, we would have
the way they
almost had.
started.
Really, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
would have all the three of them could have taken first, second, and third.
But it's like we're going to have 4 of them at Worlds because
Yeah.
like 3 lads that qualified there and then Kyle as well,
Kyle
who's
as well.
obviously
Kyle.
qualified already.
Yeah, there's
It's great for
cool
them,
under
great for
eight.
them to qualify, especially with it being in Ireland, like, you
Yeah,
know.
definitely.
Yeah.
I think you could see that though on a lot of like Darrow Breen and the juniors was so hungry. He was like 6th, I think, going into the last event,
Oh.
and he just really wanted to like have a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
stones because he wanted to be at Ireland's and Worlds,
Yeah.
or at Worlds in Ireland.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's a great opportunity for them, maybe for their families to come see them at a big
That's it,
international event.
Yeah.
It's easier for people to come and watch them and support
And I
them.
suppose well, just to want to shout out, I do want to say is Gail McComiskey. Like
Yeah,
she took
Gail
the
Masters.
Masters axle record at 85 kilos.
Yeah.
There
Before
was more in the
Faye
tank.
came out.
Yeah, before Faye came out and did it at 106, but still. But like phenomenal. Like she won the Masters.
She dominated.
I
Dominated.
was going to say with ease, like
And then-
no
then
disrespect
she
to
did-
anyone else,
Yes.
but with
Ireland's
ease,
strongest
like.
woman, didn't
But
she?
then
She's
2
Ireland's
days,
strongest
2 days later, not Ireland's strongest woman.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
yeah.
ultimate strong.
It's ultimate Ireland strong.
Strong woman, yeah. And I don't give a shite. I'll go to war on that one as well.
How,
So
how come you didn't do it? There were
because
good events for you.
because I don't do that
Yeah.
competition.
I don't do
It's
that.
okay, I'll back you up.
Yeah,
I don't do it either.
For me, like every athlete's different. Like for me, I would do a comp just to prove a point. Like
No.
I remember seeing Daniel McElroy
You
in
don't
the
need it.
crowd there on Monday, and I just like the size of him. I was like, man, you do so well today. Like you had
If I was to
dumbbell and all
promote
this.
what you guys like, okay, let's put it this way, and I'll say this on camera. What we have tried to build for the women in this country is so
Yeah.
that they haven't had to deal with what the men have had to deal with over the years.
Yeah.
And I, out of just my moral standing, won't do that.
Yeah,
I'm
fair.
not going to go where I had to a competition, bring a dumbbell myself with a fat grip because I knew full well there would be nothing to warm up to a
Yeah.
2 kilo dumbbell. With 99.9% of women in this country, competing strong women, are natural. Right, to think that you should be able to go in and just warm up on shit, I'm not taking it, and I don't want
Yeah.
that for the women, and that's why I won't do it. That's
Well, like if you also
anyway. That's
you.
where I'm coming from.
and I hate to be speaking down about competitions often, but like if you did you look at the women's the last day?
Yeah, I was in parts in and out.
So like the axle.
It fell apart.
A plate broke. The original axle press was supposed to be 55 kilos.
No, 60
60
kilos,
kilos,
yeah.
which would have been a decent weight for some of them, some too easy. A plate broke when the first competitor was out there. They didn't have a replacement plate. So they just made them go 50 kilos. Gail done 17 reps. That's not
I
a
was
national
thinking
level
that it was
competition.
like their reps were really high. So
Like that
That's mad.
that shouldn't be the case.
Like even like
you
Yeah.
could
playing-
easily
And
just
then-
viper that. Like,
And if you look
know.
at the tire then as well, like we talk about tires being dangerous, their
Oh, the
tire,
lower one, yeah,
their
yeah,
tire was
that's
more
probably-
dangerous than yours, even though yours was heavy,
So low.
because you had to bicep
You had
it off the
to
ground.
bicep, yeah.
That's the same tire you flipped the year you done it as well. I'm like, come
we
on.
were
like,
trying to figure
Yeah,
that.
we're
Is
trying to
it
work out
the
the
same one?
well, it looked like it to me. It was the same depth
Yeah.
anyway. So
And I
like,
think-
don't be putting that shit into comps.
Yeah.
You can get light tires that are a good depth. The one you both train on, you both train on
Yeah, yeah.
light tires, but they have a good depth. You can get your chest against them. So it doesn't
You
have
get
to be
into
that.
that, like, yeah.
And I
It's
think
safer.
going back to the question is like I can go up against Gemma anytime in any other competition that I want to and prove how good I am. I don't need to go to another
Yeah.
competition
Yeah.
to do
Well, you had a fair
that.
comp this year, and
And
she
yeah,
won. You can
yeah,
say
so do you know what I mean? Like, and
have worlds
then
as well.
as far as I'm concerned, and again, no disrespect to anyone, I went over to Preston and competed in a 6-event competition that actually showed
the weights
how
were going.
strong.
Yeah.
And also
Actually
leads
challenged
you to a
people,
lot.
like,
Leads you to a lot more.
17
as well,
reps on
do
an
you know what I
axle.
mean?
Like,
So
Yeah.
like even
Yeah.
60 kilos on an axle, that was still too light
For an open
open
comp, yeah.
national level
Literally,
comp.
we were saying it should be
Should be
70,
70.
75 kilos
Yeah.
for an
like
open
the
comp.
under 82s was 60 with
Yeah.
a log as well as the axle.
And
do you know what I
Galway,
mean?
yeah.
In Galway, for
But anyway,
ours,
back
so-
to that about Gail. I'm just going to move that one back in because I do want, I want it to be shouted out. Is she literally finished half a point behind Gemma
Yeah.
in that competition after competing at a 6-event comp that was probably heavier.
She had a
even
few
for the
pints as
masters.
well,
I was going to have a couple of drinks at the start.
Yeah, so that's just to show how phenomenal that woman is. At what,
She's a
44?
45.
45.
I've
Like,
seen on strength results yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
She's a beast. Like,
I'll
she
take that
really
one
is.
time I ever got her to the grave. Let me ever say that I'm taking that one time. Like, I'm like, that's mine.
Yeah. To me, looking at it though, like, and in all honesty, I was obviously looking at both men's and women's last day. The men's comp, from the outside looking in, seems to be held at a higher standard by the promoter and gets more respect.
Yeah.
If you look at the weights and all that.
I think that
Absolutely.
we spoke about it a few weeks ago, saying how OSG Women's Ireland's is the original, is the
Yeah.
actual
I
Ireland.
Yeah.
consider that
Yeah.
Ireland
And then the
strong.
Ultimate
Yeah.
Strongman, Ireland Strongest Man, is the original
Yeah.
Ireland Strongest Man.
100%.
We spoke
Because like
about
it was the OSG one between yourself, Peter O'Connor, Dave Warner, you the ones that actually set up with the
We set
Ireland
that up.
Strongest Woman.
Yeah.
And
with
it's
OSG.
consistently run.
And that's the one that's
Yeah.
been there ever since.
Yeah.
And then with like
It's gone through different people, but
then
it's
with-
been there.
Yeah, then
That
with
happens.
Ultimate Strongman, with Ireland Strongest Man, that's been the original one for the past 25 years.
Yeah,
and it's
because
been
like-
the most
That's
consistent
fair
one.
enough.
of the
You know,
last-
you both done like Dave's official strongman Ireland.
Yeah.
I don't see that as Ireland's strongest man. I just see it as a Britain's strongest man qualifier or John's live
Yeah.
pathway. Personally, I don't see it as an
Which
Ireland's
is
strongest.
unfortunate.
Like if I'm looking at one, I think Glenn's is Ireland's strongest man, and then from the women's side of things, official strongman is the.
Yeah.
That's just my view on it. That might be controversial or whatever,
Well,
but
yeah.
it's been there the longest. Through COVID,
yeah.
Glenn kept that going as well.
Yeah.
And you have to. There has to be something set for that.
Consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we all have a definition of strong and
Yeah.
strength and who's the strongest. But like,
Yeah.
for me, strongman is the events that Ultimate do, those events, the old school
The old
events.
school ones.
What OSG do now, which I appreciate what they're doing. There's a lot of money in it. But like the axle, sandbag, steeplechase, it's the same events over and over, and they're only doing it so they can sell more equipment.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to sell a car to people to roll.
To roll,
You know what I mean? You're not going to
Oh,
sell
but you
car
never
rolls.
run
How many
much
tires are you
practice
going
on.
to sell? For me, like I have absolutely no passion for doing joints, other than the fact that if you win joints, you're the strongest on paper, like in terms of
Yeah.
the guy who can move the most static.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it leads to worlds.
I do agree with you, Giants live comps
But
tend to get boring.
the ultimate is exciting. Like
Yeah.
anything can happen.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
But it's fun. And I get what you're saying about the Ireland, the woman, there might have been a bit of disparity between the two. Does it annoy you that there are other titles out there, that someone else can call themselves Ireland's strongest woman, or does it not bother you, in your mind?
Oh no, it would. It bothers me. Well, it used to bother me way more than it does. Because especially when people sometimes refer to themselves as Ireland's strongest woman, but not in the weight category.
Yeah.
That's where that gets a bit problematic
More
for me. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So that, yeah, of course, but I think that's just you're always gonna get that.
Yeah.
You are, but I do have an issue with like people claiming to be Ireland's strongest woman of anything if it hasn't been through the original Ireland's strongest woman
Yeah.
route,
Mm.
more so than anything else.
But I think that's why Gemma, and I don't think Gemma will mind me saying this, but that's why she wants to do both Glens and officials, because she doesn't want, because she's won officials Ireland's,
Yeah.
which is the actual Ireland's. So she doesn't want someone coming in and being like, oh, I'm Ireland's strongest woman.
Yeah,
She
there's
knows
no
that.
doubt.
She's like, I'm just
Yeah,
going to go
yeah.
take the title.
Totally.
I have both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's still, I don't.
You
agree
had
with
that
that because
opportunity,
of
you were very
who she's
close
up
in
against
November.
as well.
Yeah.
And I don't mean any disrespect to the other women, but like Gemma going up against Minnie or
Yeah.
who was Leonie, like do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's just it just isn't right. I don't
It's
think
not
it
fair
is. It's not
representation
fair
of the strength of the
representation.
women in
It's not the
Ireland.
It isn't.
strongest women in the country
Yeah,
competing.
that's what I would say. It's not fair representation of
Yeah.
the strength
Yeah,
of women in
and
Ireland.
that is where I think more so for the women than the men, why we do need the weight categories,
Yeah.
weight categories, is so that you can have that showcase of that strength from the likes of Clare O'Hagan and April Dardis at under 57,
Yeah.
to myself and Gemma and Ashlyn and Nicole McMillan up at over 90 kilos, whatever.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Definitely.
Touchy subject.
yeah.
Is that your big goal now, to win the OSG Ireland?
Yeah.
Giants Ireland?
So I mean, I think Pa was probably the last person to hold both titles, realistically.
Yeah, 2019.
So because it was that one that happened there back in November. That was the first time that competition had been held.
5 years.
Yeah,
Try 4 years.
4 years. Although I see the Ultimate Strongman one as being the original Ireland Strongest Man, I definitely want to just take the two of them, and at least then, it's no questions asked. That's it. Nobody can point to anybody else. I have both titles. That's fucking questions over with. And obviously then as well, you got the opportunities that come along with going into different federations. Because obviously if you're staying in the one federation, is you are limited in what you can do, especially if you want to grow into the sport and get into the global level. You do need to kind of branch out into the other federations as much as possible. I want to be kind of the first person to hold both of those since Pa has 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago now.
Very good, very good. Jack, James, I haven't asked you any questions yet.
Good, yeah, stay away.
Stay away. Next up for you is obviously the Irish Strength Cup, isn't it, both of you?
Yep.
Yeah.
We've got nothing else planned in the immediate.
No, Irish Strength Cup will be the first one coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are we both feeling for it?
Good, yeah.
You told me you were going to beat Cilléin earlier anyway.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Jerry.
It's definitely beating him.
It's already 1-0, so gotta make 2.
Is that 1-0?
Yeah, you beat me in November.
Ah, yes.
Oh,
yeah.
That's the only time.
On a bad day.
Not a bad day. Yeah. Not a bad day.
You don't see me with the tire that day.
Yeah.
I tried to flip it over.
I don't know what you were doing with that
I
tire.
don't know what you were doing with that yoke.
I will say though, it would be very curious to see how you are now with the with weight loss and fitness.
Oh, absolutely.
improve.
Yeah.
Skinny and fast,
Because it was back in November, it was every second event went good. It was long went good, deadlift went good,
Yeah.
but the load medley kind of went bad. And
Yeah, it's like the weight.
Yoke.
So basically anything that
Every
is
other event.
You're just mid-pack,
It's the
That's
movement
it.
events, the weight wasn't the issue. Not the weight of the implements wasn't the issue. Just
Your body
I
weight.
love when you clarify that there.
just in case we get mixed up there. Yeah, so obviously being fit and fast.
But you're 30 kilos down, is it?
Pretty much in and around so.
20 kilos from comp weight,
30 kilos from comp weight, so it's a
And
big
how,
difference.
how are you feeling doing sandbag carries, yokes, farmers, all that now?
Fucking savage.
I
Is
can
it? It's
testify
actually
that as
way
someone who's
better.
watching him, he is faster.
Faster and fitter.
Yeah.
Obviously, the weights, I seem to be as strong as I was as well, so.
Yeah.
I think that was one of
Yeah.
your fears. I remember talking to you before about
Yeah,
not wanting to like,
absolutely.
oh my god, I'm going to not be able to
Yeah.
deadlift or whatever.
I'd be interested, because obviously you hit 320 for 4 raw with no belt or anything there a few weeks ago, and that was obviously nice to tick that off. So the deadlift strength and stuff like that is obviously where it needs to be, but be interesting to see maybe like pressing power and stuff like that. Like I'm training Axel obviously because that's coming up in the Irish Strength Cup, and push press and stuff like that. That seems good, but it'd be interesting to see how something like strict log or something is without the weight. I'd like to think with everything else is feeling, it'll be grand as well, but
Still be there,
you know,
yeah.
yeah.
So like there's a lot of people have like that thought that you have to be heavy and fat to do strongman, and if you lose your weight, you're going to lose your strength. So like, what are you saying to people like that right now, based on what you're feeling?
No, it's all shite. So
Yeah.
it's all shite. But like I thought that,
Yeah.
you know, like but like it's like you think that because like you're walking around and you're bigger than everyone and you're clearly fucking stronger than everyone or the vast majority of people. Like, so you know, you feel that way. Like so. But you do get like it's not healthy to be that weight all the time either. Like so it's not. So you do need to, you know, think of health side of it too.
Living a long time.
Living for a while. That'd be nice to do.
Longevity.
What made you change your mind? What was it?
Oh, I wasn't
What are you
given,
laughing at?
wasn't given the choice in the matter.
You lay down the law, do you, Jade?
Good woman.
Yeah, but even like
So why did you think he needed to do it? Just because you clearly see he was dying.
That, not even that, but just like, because obviously he was so statically strong and like, you could see the way the sport was moving and there was so many like lighter lads moving into it that were still as strong, that could still hold their own.
Rory O'Hagan for
And but even if you're looking at like
Buckley.
say like the pro lads, the top lads and stuff,
Yeah.
because like you'd probably look at them quicker than you'd look at Rory, and that's nothing to do with Rory, but you know, you'd look at the likes of like Paolo Gordiaka and like, you know, those lads coming in and stuff and being like, well, they're not actually the biggest lads. Like even Novikov, like they're not the biggest lads, but they can still like they're still beasts. Like,
Yeah.
so I think that was proving a point to you as well. And like I think even just the way that you thought, I could see that it wasn't healthy. Do you know what I mean? Like, and like it's like, so it got to a point where like you'd stay up till like
Sure, I was eating
midnight just so
everything
that you
that
could
you
get
said.
more food into you rather than going to bed and getting a good night's sleep.
God, for you.
You know, this kind of thing where it's like,
but like I'd come home from work and then I'd go training because like obviously I was like working 10, 12-hour shifts and then driving home and then training late and I'd be out of the gym when the gym would be closing at 10 or half 10, then going home and trying to eat, and it would be 12, you're in bed and you're up at fucking 4:30 again to go back up the road and work, like,
You're in a
you know, it's not ideal, like, yeah.
and then like you'd be like, I need to get a big meal into me like before I go to bed or whatever. So then that like bloody fuck your sleep. So then your sleep was shit and your recovery was just like starting to like slowly
Slow down.
decline and stuff. And you used to be like, I'm fine with no sleep. And then you got the CPAP and lost a load of weight and you're like, never mind. My sleep was actually terrible.
She's like, feel great all of a sudden. What's that?
Well, I'm like, I wonder why.
Do you find that the recovery is better? I know since I started working with Richard, I lost the
Oh
weight.
yeah, since I started
So
working with
much
Richie as well, like my
Yeah.
recovery's way better. Like that's like, cause I was coming up to Dave's Ireland's and I was eating maybe 6,500 or 6,800 calories or something. And like Richie asked me what my food's looking like, I sent him, he's like, fuck's sake, that's an awful lot of food. Which it was, because like I could be eating maybe 3 normal dinners, like, you know, like, what
Like a day back.
Yeah, and then,
Along with other meals.
yeah, along with other meals that weren't small either. And Richie dropped me food instantly, and like I got stronger and fitter, and like I didn't lose much weight, so I didn't, because still a lot of food. Like, but I started feeling better and recovering and stronger, like it was instantly, like, you know. And then obviously lost the weight, all the weight after the comp, but yeah, like it makes a massive difference.
Because you like looking at you now, you look like as you did with your one Republics, but with just more muscle.
Yeah.
Around kind of the arms and the shoulders. Because like that day, like you're on fire that day.
Yeah.
And things. I feel like, you know, getting that again, and then just getting more 5-event competitions that are over like a very short space of time, and just getting that practice in. Like, and you do like 10 competitions of those, like, and it's like
Absolutely,
you're
like,
you're up there one of the best. You'd be hard to beat then.
Better than the 5 I've done
Yeah.
last.
I think winning Republics is probably the worst thing. I think winning Republics is probably the worst thing that could have actually like happened to you, because you were literally like thrown in and like you put so much
First
pressure
one.
on yourself anyway.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then you were like, because
Yeah.
everyone was like, you're up there, and I think
I think that's, I said that to
year
you
as
like
well.
a few weeks
Everyone
ago.
was like,
Yeah.
We
he's the
spoke
lad
about
that's
that
going to be
over
class.
Ullah.
And, like,
Yeah, it did actually, yeah.
We were
You
steamed.
you literally just came out of nowhere, and then
Yeah,
all of a
yeah.
sudden you were just like on this pedestal, and then like you put yourself on that pedestal as well, like, so you just expected yourself to maintain that, and I think you thought that you needed to be like bigger and stronger enough in order to do that. So
Well, that's what you set the threshold too high.
Yeah.
Draft Republic's what you do. It's like Ireland's.
Ireland's, yeah.
Yeah.
Like me, you should start like the clown and then work your way into it.
So what do I do now?
I think, yeah, if you win the Irish Strength Cup, you're back in business.
Yeah.
Or even just a good show.
I'd like
And they're really good events for you, to be fair.
Yeah, in fairness, the event suit me, but like I'd like to go back and win Republics because like I'm not like shitting on anyone
like
or
the
anything,
OG.
but like I'm the only person who's actually won out the comp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
like
last few
actually
years.
hit first.
Yeah, like I won that
Yeah.
comp that day. I bet everybody. Whereas lads have come along and like we were saying, it's like a participation medal. They come 5th or 7th or
And they
something.
get Republics.
And they got the Republic's title, which like if I got that and you got that, Cilléin, like you wouldn't feel like you won it.
No.
You know, it's like
You wouldn't.
I wouldn't like think about yeah, I got that, like you know.
Yeah.
So I'd like to go back and take that title again.
Cool. I'm really hungry.
Yeah.
So, Jade, what's up for you?
Irish Strength Cup
Yeah.
and then
Cool, definitely. We should do this.
after that. So
Okay, how are you feeling both?
really good. The events for Europe's haven't like officially come out. There's like a lot of talk in the wind. So
I know them.
but my main goal for OSG was because I feel like last year I really let myself down because it was like the first. Because going into Worlds the previous year, like I knew I was like there was nothing happening. I'd given up way before that comp even started, like, and I went in and I zeroed 3 out of 4 events that I did, like, and so I had no like pressure on myself. I had no energy on myself, and then Worlds,
Drinking wine
and
the night
then
before.
literally I drank wine. I just gave up. I didn't care. I was happy to be there, like, and then. For Europe's, like, I was like, right, if I actually like really apply myself, like I was just very, very nervous. And I had never been in that caliber of a comp with like caliber of athletes where I could potentially do okay and like not zero everything. And I just didn't know how to handle it. And like, I could not manage my nerves or the adrenaline at all for any single event. Like, for first event or whatever, like you get them nerves and then you kind of settle into it. At no point did I feel settled into it. Like, I think maybe for like the last day I felt okay-ish, but I still didn't feel like great. Like I still wasn't managing my nerves. My legs were like doing nothing all weekend. So my main goal for OSG Europe's this year is actually just to go and do better. Basically, just learn from last year and actually like go in and actually showcase that I
Have a good comp, I suppose.
like that I actually can be competitive at that level with them athletes. That's my goal.
Very cool.
And then that's it really. We'll see what Worlds is like then with the events and stuff,
Yeah.
and then I'll decide if I want to do it. But other than that, then there's nothing else.
Very good.
So you can go get your food now.
No, we're not doing it. I have another question.
Getting into this.
So I kind of again asked you all individually in the interviews earlier, but like it'd be good to have an open discussion on what you think we can do to grow the Irish Strength Cup and what we can do to make it a bigger event and what I can do like to promote it.
Didn't ask me that.
Did I ask you that? Oh,
You don't care.
You didn't ask me that either.
Did I? All right, I asked you, did I?
Yeah.
I had some slightly different questions for you.
Let them
I was
answer.
winging that shit, lads.
Huh?
I was winging that shit, just like the podcast.
Yeah, he opened up the phone and like pretends he's reading out. What can I ask them? What can I ask them?
I had a list of like different questions. I kind of went between them all. They can't all be the exact same.
I love the castle venue. Like, imagine next year you did it in Leinster. You found the castle in Leinster, and then or Munster,
that'd be
Ulster.
cool.
Like,
That'd be pretty cool.
Not even a castle, but like
Oh, yeah,
the
cool
venue.
venue.
Yeah, some sort of like
Historical,
yeah.
Because the Irish Strength Cup, you're thinking there's history there,
Yeah.
and obviously there is, of course.
So moving it would be a cool thing. Like.
Yeah.
The
well, like-
team being history.
And then like Galway is not the hardest place in the world to get to. You know, like obviously there could be people from Cork or they're coming from the UK and stuff, but somewhere that's accessible and there's places around for them to stay and eat and like it makes it easier for people to go to it and want to be there.
Yeah.
You know, because like where were we for John Comp? Fucking Orlando. Daytona.
Dude,
There's nowhere there to
like,
fucking eat, so there
There
wasn't.
was
Remember
nowhere
words.
to eat in
was a shit
around the convention centre.
We had a car, man. There was loads of
Yeah, eat a car.
It was like they were the other side of
Yeah.
the bridge. Do you know what I mean? Like that side of the bridge where
Yeah.
the convention centre is. There was nothing.
Then
Like, there was a
there
wee
wasn't-
diner and there was like rubbery
shite.
chicken. It was
Yeah.
raw.
Yeah.
I got raw chicken. You
Yes.
got rubber chicken.
Like,
Oh, it'd be
it
a
was
step
disgusting.
up.
Yeah.
So,
But this comp was meant to be you remember it used to be the Cerberus Cup,
Yeah.
the GSP
Yeah.
Cup. That's where the history, and we finally have someone we can attach to
Absolutely.
it. That's like,
Yeah,
you know,
cemented there.
we
like.
cement it.
It always got,
should-
like, the
it should
big-
always have been called the Irish Strength Cup. Probably would have called it that anyway.
Yeah,
Like,
it
yeah.
always had the big Irish names. We
Yeah.
always like pulled a good crowd for it.
Yeah.
And now I think like after what happened with Mark, obviously just attaching that
It
to
just-
it. No matter what,
yeah.
it's not going to change. The name never.
Yeah. Like we always said, it doesn't matter who comes in as sponsorship, who throws money at it. It will always be the Irish Strength Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's keeping his legacy of what he did. To me, that's what it is.
yeah.
And growing the sport through that, I think. And like you said, if you move that around, if we go to different locations, there's going to be people who are going to look at that of a day. If we do enough, I think public, what's the word I'm looking for?
Public.
Media and stuff around it. Like, yeah, like, do you know what I mean?
That's
So-
a
Publicity.
big
Yeah,
word.
like, that's not the word I'm looking for. Like, I'm so hungry.
Yeah.
My brain's seizing up. But yeah, if we're going to Leinster, or if we're going to King John's Castle in Limerick, you know, getting the word out there and getting people to actually see it. I think that's how we will also. It's going to have that knock-on effect of strongman because it's going to look so cool.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a 3-day event with like 150 people.
Yeah.
That goes on.
I think also like Mark is from Mullingar, like a good venue for it, like would be the barracks in Mullingar.
That's when
Yeah,
he first
would you
seen as a
remember?
strongman.
That's why first, because remember it was one of Glenn's comps.
Yeah.
And I think Richard Looney was the man that used to do all the organising then.
For that,
He
yeah.
used to get pretty good venues for Glenn's
Yeah.
comps. And I think the barracks was one of the places I was in regularly. Like,
Yeah.
like there was
But
Eddie Hall
that's-
and a few people there that
Yeah.
year.
That
And
is
Mark
definitely
seen
where
it.
Mark first seen
Yeah,
it. And
so that would be a good place to try and
Yeah,
bring that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah.
year 2.
And I brought up a point to Matty when he asked me the question. I was like, it's obviously up to, you know, the promotions of Irish Strength or whatever to put the stuff out there, but it's also up to the athletes to make sure that we're actually talking about it and sharing stuff
Absolutely,
and getting it out
yeah.
there, because we're going to reach a lot more than just like one, like the GSP page.
100%,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
we're going to reach a lot more people like than just the GSP promotion page. So just making sure that like it's both the athletes and the promoters' responsibility to try and actually push it out there as well.
If his post and sent him like his text and it's going to be brutal.
Costello has gotten a lot better, lads.
Text me back. Just,
I
maybe you
remember-
can join the team, you know.
Text me back when I send him pictures of pints. He does, sorry. We have a little thing
If
going.
you start paying me like she does, I'll reply to you just as quick.
Yeah.
But the GSP Cup, I remember 2019, just before lockdown, that was one of the biggest prize monies that I'd ever seen in strongman in Ireland that you managed to put together.
What was it that day?
1,500.
I know McKeegan got 900 for winning. I got like 270 for second place. I wasn't expecting anything for
You were-
podium. And you got like
Oh, I think I got like 90 euro for third.
you got
Maybe you should have kept
might-
You think I'd rather do 100?
We should have brought this up, John.
think about that. That was 5 years ago, and that's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
not much less than what you'd get from a pro show at the moment.
Yeah.
And like Ireland is 1,000.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I say, like, yeah.
We had a full line. We had 16 men. Luke Davies came over.
Brianna,
There was another
Brianna.
Welsh guy there.
Matty Williams.
Yeah. Fantastic crowds.
Yeah.
Even Powell was there.
Yeah.
But it was just, and that's what you built. But then obviously lockdown kind of, killed the sales of
Yeah.
everyone. Yeah, the Strong Cup went well though.
Storm Cup went well last year. Yeah, that was
You know,
massive. We had a great
that
fun
was-
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like it's just continuing on from that. I actually think this could be one of the biggest comps. I know there's no title of the Ireland's strongest
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
but like I could see everyone doing this.
Even
It'd be
from
like an
a-
FA
yeah.
Cup in football.
Yeah.
You got the
Yeah.
Premier League, the Champions
Yeah.
League,
Yeah.
the FA Cup.
Caliber of it.
But even like you said, from an international view, if we can start getting that out there, like Becca Morgan's coming over from the UK,
Yeah.
Exactly,
coming
yeah.
back
Ben
from
Sackbury's
injuries.
doing it as well.
Yeah,
Trained
so
with her.
there's people coming over. If we can get that again,
Well, like you
Keep
said,
it
like
going.
you said, like
Yeah.
Mark touched a lot of people, so
Yeah.
you know, like so Scotland, the UK, and then
Yeah.
he was kind of branching into America, like
Yeah.
you know. But there's a lot of people like Scotland and England and Wales that would
That
have
it's easy
known
accessible
him,
to
you
go
know,
to
like so.
Ireland, like,
Yeah.
for-
It's not hard, yeah. That's it. It's
Yeah.
not hard for them to come over. So like, it'd be cool if we could get a few decent level athletes over here and competing at,
Yeah.
like you know.
Absolutely, yeah.
They
Just make us cunts get the finger out, like you know.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe me, I don't know.
It seems like it's just down to like promoting it from the promoter side and the athlete side of it.
Yeah.
Trying to get more prize money, I think, would be helpful as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Cool
There was
venues.
this British strongman that passed away a couple of years ago, and they have a competition. His
Aaron
name-
Page.
Aaron Page. I just,
Yeah, Aaron Page, yeah.
I'm hungry too.
Yeah.
My memory's so bad. Aaron Page, so for his date of birth, they picked the World's Strongest Man events on the year he was born.
Ah.
And that's what they did. You know, when Paddy Hines did
That was
the
a
car
good idea.
roll.
Yeah.
So those events were from the World's Strongest Man
is
that he was
a
born.
class idea.
That's a
So,
good idea,
yeah,
yeah.
if you could do that for Mark.
We'll look at doing that next year.
See what
That'd
it
be
is.
very cool.
Because it's, you know, obviously around 80s, 90s.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
little
Yeah,
events.
yeah.
Mark was ageless though. No, nobody knows what age he is.
We'll pick a year.
He was
Pick a
multiple.
year.
Yeah, pick the year that the best
I just
event.
get on to his
Yeah,
mother. I just get on to his
Yeah.
mother.
Yeah.
I just remember the Paddy Hines did the Carol went viral.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
see.
Lad Bible picked up
So
on
many
it.
places sharing it, yeah.
Yeah, but that'd be a cool way of, and it gives it a touch as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's his birthday.
And two, like,
I think bringing it to Mullingar as well would be
Yeah.
good.
I
You
think
could bring it to
yeah.
Mullingar
Be brilliant.
and do that.
and,
Yeah.
And like
Mullingar
Mullingar
is
is
so central, yeah, it'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
And then cool events like
And like to be
you
fair,
just said,
Mullingar has like
Carol.
good
Yeah.
food spots and everything like that there, like that, you know, and like it's quite, like there's, you know, you've got all the supermarkets there, like you've loads there, there's loads of Airbnbs.
There's plenty of
Hotels,
hotels and
hotels,
everything.
like,
Yeah.
It's
you know,
very
you have
accessible,
everything that
so
you
it is.
need, and it's not
Yeah.
hugely expensive. Like it's not like trying to get a hotel in Dublin. Do you know what I mean?
No.
A hotel in Mullingar is going to be a lot more
Lot cheaper,
affordable.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
You
But
know,
like-
I love keg toss as well. You can have one for the audience.
I
and the
actually
crowd.
have his old kegs.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea.
Chuck them all off the
Yeah.
family, so I have them in storage. The keg toss ones as well.
That'd be
I would love to do them, but we need grass.
Yeah.
I'd love to have done it here, obviously, but
Yeah.
you can't.
Out there.
There's no-
I like to imagine kegs hitting the castle with people.
like big down in the castle.
We'd never get a place like this again.
Lots
So
of
that's why it's
hundreds of
bad,
views.
bad class.
Yeah, I think
Maybe that's what they
the
needed
events
back all those
that
years,
are
just
being
full
honoured
heads
matter
and
too.
days.
Like, they'll say, like, you look back on the previous year's events, and if there's a car flip in it and stuff, like seeing people flip cars is
Yeah.
mad,
Class.
you know.
Yeah.
I think it's a great event. I love it.
It's cool.
You love it too.
I love the event,
Glad.
yeah.
Cilléin and Jack are like, yeah, put that in.
Yeah. You know,
Richard
that's-
Looney had it in his gym to practice on.
That's right,
And all
yeah.
the lads were messaging, can I practice it for the qualifier? yeah. I
Okay.
can't wait. Actually, can't wait for it now. That comes.
Me too, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
The events are cool. I think they're still a good spectacle as well. The events.
There is a live stream for it.
Yeah, we're gonna have a live stream over
Yeah.
for it. Yeah, absolutely.
Savage.
Um,
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like, maybe
figure
for
out
us
how
live
it's
stream.
situation here,
the
actually.
live stream that like you can share it afterwards, and that
Yeah.
like it's we're able to share the live stream.
You,
and
you,
that.
look
and you
back
can
at
look
it.
back on it,
Watch,
because like
yeah.
you were just saying earlier, you were looking back on, was it Worlds from last year?
UPNS.
Or UPNS?
Yeah, 6,000. Not
Yeah.
bad
Nine-
for
day one of Worlds had
or day two.
9.7
Yeah,
thousand.
day two was
Yeah.
6,000.
But it'd be great for like the whole like longevity of it. That like say in a couple of years, like because obviously the names are going to be etched onto the shields, so
Yeah,
it'd be
that's
like
class.
cool to be like, oh, in 2024, the first person that won this was this person. Then we watched that.
When we were all old and
Yeah.
crippled, we were looking at these young lads etching the
Remember
names
that
into.
day?
Remember that day, Jack? Came second.
Where did the Finn McCool's come from? Yes, the Finn McCool's obviously.
Trophy.
Yeah, Glenn has someone that makes it every year.
No idea where he was from now.
Because that would have been cool too.
I'm
There's like
assuming
one
Fox-
that has everyone's name.
Fox Mouldings in the UK.
If you
Oh, yeah.
They do a specialised.
Yeah.
that's a good shout, actually.
if you go on the website, our Strength Association, you can see, if you look hard enough, you can find each winner of the years, but it
Yeah.
stops around, I think it's 26.
If you ask Jason Riley, he'll
Oh,
tell you every year.
yeah.
No, I think it's Headman.
It's in his head.
He
But that's
fucking
cool.
has everything.
That's cool. Like that's
History.
yeah.
I'd actually love to get him for a podcast because the history he has is amazing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Will we do that?
Yeah, cool.
Oh, passports or birth certs?
First starts.
I like hearing the
I'm going.
Thanks for
I'm too
listening,
hungry.
folks.
Bye.
Bye.